Hey, welcome back to the State of Love and Trust. It's episode 299, and we're going to celebrate that by answering all of your questions. So sit back, relax, grab a snack, grab a drink. Oh, it's mailbag time, baby. And it's all next on the State of Love and Trust.
Hey, I'm Mike McCready from Pearl Jam.
Hey kids, this is Mark Arm from Mudhoney.
I'm Kevin Martin from Candlebox.
Hi, I'm Dave Cruzen.
I'm Tim Montana.
Hey, I'm James Joseph from James and the Cold Gun.
I am Matt Vaughn from Easy Street Records.
This is Pete Droge.
And this is the State of Love and Trust.
The State of Love and Trust.
The State of Love and Trust.
Don't forget to rate, review, subscribe to the podcast wherever you listen. Feed the algorithm.
Welcome back to another episode of the State of Love and Trust podcast. I'm one of your two hosts, Jason Kerepesi, and alongside me, as always, is
Paul Ghiglieri.
Yes, pointing to the name that's not on his back.
I should put my name on the back of these t-shirts.
New pod merch idea.
Jerseys. State of Love and Trust jerseys. How about that?
You wear our names on your back. That's the ultimate. We've
That's
jumped the
ridiculous.
shark moment. If you're here on YouTube, go ahead and like the video. Subscribe to the channel, won't you? I really would appreciate that. It's a simple little thing you can do to get these videos, these podcasts in front of more eyeballs and earballs. So that'd be super helpful. And the bell for notifications as well is a thing that YouTube would like you to do. If you're listening only, Paul?
Well, you should rate, you should review, you should subscribe on your preferred podcast platform of choice. Feed that algorithm. Feed it because we need it. Feed it because it's the best way to usher us past this heat wave that is engulfing
Holy
Southern California
mother
right now.
of God, Paul.
Okay. The algorithm cools us. That's all I can say.
If I feel bad saying this because and we're recording this a little bit ahead. Obviously, as you know, we record things a little bit ahead of when they drop. And at the current moment, Southern California feels like August, and it's March that we're recording this. And I know a lot of people out there are still in the throes of severe weather, be it the cold kind with
It's
maybe
so
some
bizarre.
tornadoes.
Like half the country is freezing, and the other half the country is boiling.
It's almost like there's been a change in the climate.
What could have possibly caused that?
I don't know.
I don't know either.
Somehow it's
Maybe
connected
we're
to
just
the Strait of
imagining
Hormuz.
all of this.
Should we go there? No. But you know what today is? If you couldn't tell by the banners and the descriptions and all that jazz, it is a mailbag. We tend to do these like basically once a year, and we're choosing to do one now because it is episode 299. Paul,
I know. I'm excited about 300. We got something special in store. But for 299, let's go back to our roots. Let's talk to the patrons. Let's talk to the listeners. Let's talk to the viewers because they have questions and they deserve answers.
They do. The most common question that I got was why.
Why a mailbag? Oh gosh.
No, why does the pod exist? Was what I was going for. I couldn't get it out.
It's like why a mailbag?
Why at all? Why exist? No. Well, Paul teased episode 300, which is in the bag, by the way. But we'll tell you what it is at the end of the show. So yeah, we put it out to our patrons. We put it out to you, the audience in general, be it on X or Facebook or Instagram or whatever, and said, hey, submit questions. And it could be about anything. Music, Pearl Jam specifically, life.
The pen of power, whatever you want.
The Pen of Power had the most questions, and I had to axe most of them. Because they
not
were
surprised.
They were a little risque, Paul. I shan't go further. Okay, so let's do it. You want to start first?
Yes, I would love to start first. Let's take a look at some of these questions here. Let's take a look.
Many questions.
Are we bouncing around, man, or are we just going to go in order?
I mean, I think if we can bounce around wherever tickles your pickle, and once we've answered it, just go ahead and like put like a bunch of X's or something so we know that we've hit that question when scrolling later on.
Let's go in order. Because believe it or not, I actually feel like there's a nice flow to the way that these things came in.
Fair enough.
So here's the question. Barrett Martin would be an amazing drummer for Pearl Jam, considering his skills, his versatility, his immense knowledge about music and about almost anything important in life, and his great humanity. And he would reunite with Mike McCready, which would guarantee an amazing chemistry like in Mad Season days. Do you agree? This is from Marina on Facebook. First of all, Marina, fantastic question. What a way to open.
I love it. Yeah, so the Pearl Jam drummer situation is obviously hot in everyone's mind for a number of reasons. And recently, Mike McCready was talking to a friend of the show, Jonathan Cohen, in Spin Magazine about his Farewell to the Seasons graphic novel and soundtrack that'll come out in the fall. And he mentioned how great and what of a dream it was. I think that was his word, dream, to play with Matt Cameron. And he said, well, he didn't say much about the drummer, but he did say that, we don't have any shows planned this year, but I wish that we would. And we're woodshedding, and he expanded on what that meant, because that's what Ed said. He's like, we're talking to each other, we're emailing, we're jumping into the warehouse, we're jamming, that kind of thing. So you've got to think that drummer thing is if it hasn't already been sorted and they haven't said anything, it's probably the very, very next thing they're going to do. Barrett Martin is, as Marina put, a very, very good drummer. Obviously, it goes without saying. Just saw him recently, as I told Alan Johannes, at the Lodge Room, and we know his prowess. Would he want to commit to a band like Pearl Jam, which takes up a decent amount of time and demands long shows, which he can do? I don't know. I've been saying since Matt Cameron said goodbye that I always thought it'd be Stephen Perkins. And we will find out if that is prescient or not. But the question is, would it be good with Barrett Martin? I think Barrett Martin absolutely could do the job if he wanted to, and the other guys felt that he was the right fit personality-wise, which he's a very kind man, so he could very well fit. I don't know what you think, Paul.
I think there's a lot of reasons why this works, and there's one big one why I'm not sure that it does. Two, actually. So let me talk about why this works. First and foremost, obviously it's the DNA, right? I mean, there's Seattle DNA here. And I think that makes him an excellent fit. I also think that there's obviously the pre-existing relationship that he has with the band members. I think that's really important to have. I think if you're going to have chemistry with guys and you're going to join a band that's been around for as many decades as Pearl Jam has, it's really important that you have a relationship with the band members so that it can be a little bit more of a seamless transition. I also think the guy's extremely versatile, as you just mentioned. And he's a vet. He's a pro, and he's a vet. Now, why might this not work? I can think of two very, very key reasons. Reason number one, this is a stylistic mismatch. Would you agree?
Yeah.
I mean, I could see Barrett like drumming for like Dave Matthews before I could see him drumming for Pearl Jam. I say that only because there's a like a jazzy, almost like freestyle to his approach sometimes. At least that's how it sounds to me. I'm not. That's how it sounds to me too, Paul. But let me throw a wrench into that argument real fast. Okay. People listening to your argument right now, and they're all salient points, and I agree with you. People are gonna be like, "Well, isn't that Jack Irons?" And he's my favorite era of Pearl Jam. So, but how was it really? I mean, how big of an era was that? Right? You had Dave for kind of the in your face rock. You had Jack for No Code and for Yield, at least the recording. But since 99, it's been 98 or 98. Really, it's been nothing but Matt Cameron, and we're talking about tight song serving drumming. You know what I'm saying? We're talking. There is a driving engine that was Matt Cameron behind not only certain songs, but in the case of Dark Matter, an entire album. Yeah. So I can't see Barrett. I can see him complimenting the band, and I can see him having an interesting effect on certain songs. But I don't know. I'm not saying he can't. I don't know if there's a stylistic match there with the kind of drumming that I associate Barrett Martin with, and the kind of drumming I associate the Pearl Jam catalog with. Yeah, if that makes sense. I'm with you. Reason number two. How old is Barrett Martin?
60, 3, 4? I don't know. Okay.
So how much drumming does Barrett Martin really want to do on the road for a band like Pearl Jam? Yeah, who plays a lot and often when they do play.
Like I said, I saw him with Drink the Sea, and he's been doing a lot of that kind of world beat. It's I don't want to call it chill, but it's chiller than rock music.
It's groovy. Yeah, it's like groove first in a lot of ways. Right?
You can do that for 2 hours at 60 plus. You can do that, and he was totally fine. He wasn't huffing and puffing, and he was he nailed it.
Well,
But
how about playing rearview mirror?
yeah, exactly.
Or go
Yeah.
right after that.
Exactly. So I'm with you. I don't see it happening, and part of me thinks that he might be mentally and emotionally beyond that kind of music.
Maybe. Yeah.
He may have
I don't
moved
know.
on to what he's doing now. And we heard that on Long Gone Day and stuff like that. But anyways, I think that's where we're at. Next
Maybe
question.
we should talk to him. How about that?
I've tried, Paul. He's a tough nut to crack.
He is.
Yes.
And we love him for that.
We do. Okay, this is from Ella on Discord. Do the men of Pearl Jam, this is a long one, by the way, so do the men of Pearl Jam, given their relatively advancing age, engage in any fitness routines to improve/maintain their various playing skills, i.e. playing the guitar, drums, singing, as well as their overall general well-being, considering the hardship that traveling as much as they do while on tour can cause? Not that I would necessarily know, but I imagine that rocking out as they do over the course of 2+ hours might just be a tad bit taxing. And such an effort would be particularly arduous for any singer, much less one who is 61. Just thinking / worrying about the longevity in terms of health and touring. And if this isn't known, pardon me, what thoughts do you have about the consideration of fitness for Pearl Jam or any band?
Well, the answer to that is yes. And I know this because the internet told me so. As far as, thoughts on fitness, I'm going to let you answer that piece. I'm just going to get into the facts here. So what do we know? Eddie Vedder, obviously active. He's not like a gym rat, right? But I mean, he regularly surfs, he swims, he's outdoorsy. So I would say that there is certainly an element of an active lifestyle for Eddie that has allowed him to kind of, stay flexible and to have his heart in a certain place where he's able to perform as much as he does. Now, certainly there was an era of, excessive smoking that I thought did no favors to his energy nor his voice. But I find that is in the rearview mirror, pun intended. At least hopefully it is. As far as Mike is concerned, he's talked about sobriety. He's really big on wellness. And so he has mentioned staying physically fit. I don't know. I don't have his workout regimen, obviously, but I mean, he's on record as saying that he goes about his business trying to stay fit. Stone's pretty low profile, man. I mean, we don't see a lot. He has mentioned in interviews that he does stay active. I have no idea what that means. Or
I think
what it
he
looks
bicycles. Like. I don't know.
Maybe. I don't know. Probably more like moderate physical activity. I'm not sure.
Yeah.
I mean, Jeff, like the guy skateboards and plays basketball. You know what I mean? So he's certainly he's athletic and he likes to get out there and get his heart pumping a little bit. And if you watch Pearl Jam play, I mean, Jeff is lean, man. Like he's got a ton of energy. He's bouncing all over the place. So I just think his type of fitness is more like functional. You know what I mean? It's not like let me go in the gym and work out certain body parts. It's like I'm gonna go play basketball. I'm gonna skateboard, which makes sense because if I'm jumping off of an amp, that's a half pipe will help me with it. I don't know. Now we don't have Matt anymore, but it goes without saying that that in and of itself is a physically intense form of cardio, drumming. So will the next drummer be as equally fit? I certainly hope so. I have big thoughts actually on the next drummer, which I'll share. Talk to another question a little later.
Okay. So here's what I know. Ed just mentioned on the Howard Stern show that he thinks that going forward, he'll have to start doing vocal exercise before shows, which shocked me because the implication is that he never does. He basically said, I don't have time to warm up sometimes, especially on shows after the first show of a tour. I'm like, there's no warming up.
There's no do, re, mi happening backstage.
Evidently not, according to that interview. One thing I'll say about Jeff is that he does have his knees are not the best. He said that before. However, one thing, and this is, I'm looking at you, Discord, because you guys always bug me about, what do you know? What do you know? Tell us. I don't know too much. But what I do know is that I have been to HQ, and I can tell you that there is a little gym in there with a basketball hoop. And I think most of you have seen the batting cage that Ed has in his big baseball section. I think there used to be a half pipe in there, but they removed that for the gym. But there is a gym with tons of shit all over the place. So I think that was Jeff's request. So he is keeping fit. And then Mike skis a lot, which is super cardio, core, legs. Anybody who skis knows what that it's like. He skis a lot. So that's as far as I know. And I would say as long as they keep doing that, and I know, for example, Lars Ulrich has on tour he runs a ton. Actually, he runs a ton in general. He's lost weight in the last few years, and he eats better. And he has a masseuse on tour because the shoulders and the knees and this is hard to drum and like not kill out your shoulders.
Very.
So I imagine that some of these guys might include that in their regimens in some capacity. But I'm with you. I'm not worried per se because they know their bodies, but I have faith that they are taking care of themselves to a degree to get on the stage and do the job, essentially.
Yeah, no, I'm completely with you on that.
Okay, what's next?
All right, next question. This is a good one. We're going to Noah on Patreon, and her question is a great question. She wants to know, Jason and Paul, are y'all going to do Ohana this year too?
Well, I think the word
are we, Jason? Are we going to Ohana?
I cannot say yes, but I will say that the conversation is happening already.
Mm-hmm.
The people who booked those stages we're in conversation. Things are happening. It's early days, but things are happening. And so we hope to be. I can't say it with certainty yet, but I can't say yes until I know for sure, Paul.
I think we can say with certainty if Pearl Jam is there, we will be there in some capacity, even if it's just as fans. Now, will we be there in a greater capacity? Those are questions we cannot yet answer.
That's what I was saying, is that we're in conversation about that. So we'll see if that...
Would we like to be there in a greater capacity? I thought last year was an absolute blast. So would I love to do that again? Heck yeah, I would.
Is this new? Wait, hold on. Am I breaking news to you as well? There are conversations.
Yeah,
about
you
that
are.
happening.
I'm just saying, like, until something's finalized, like, would we like to be there? Yes, of course we would. And we are actively working to see whether or not that could be a possibility. We'll see.
Maybe. That's the answer. Maybe.
Yeah.
Paul, so I love all these questions, and we're going to hit as many as we can. I thought it'd be a fun wrinkle, though, to also maybe like drop in some video questions from maybe some special listeners and viewers. What do you think about that?
That sounds awesome. I wasn't expecting that.
No, you weren't. That's why this is fun. Let's see. First up, let's go with this gentleman.
Hey, guys. Jeff Whitman here. My question is, after doing 299 episodes of the State of Love and Trust, what's been revealed to you, not just about Pearl Jam, but about why the music still matters so much to you personally? I'll see you soon. Congrats.
Oh, Jeff. That was
Whitman.
cool. Thanks, Jeff. Great question.
Go ahead. You start us off.
299. I mean, look, when you think about how this started, it's just kind of like a passion project just to help us get through COVID and lockdowns. And it has evolved into what it is today and continues to evolve. I found that when I think back to 299 episodes and what the music has meant and why it still matters, I think it still matters because it's still authentic. And I think that we're living in an era where AI kind of calls into question a lot of what is authentic, from our basic humanity to the way that we think, to the way that we act and communicate with each other, and the way that we create art. So I would say that Pearl Jam's music is wholly authentic, and whether it resonates with you as a listener or not, that much cannot be disputed. It is authentic. And I think that there is a desire, a human need to connect with something that is authentic, to remind us of why we're human, why it's important to feel, and why many of the emotions, some of which are not always pleasant to feel, are necessary, almost a prerequisite to fully embrace and understand and appreciate the human experience. So whether that human experience as an extension, Pearl Jam being an extension of that, is looking behind you when there's 10,000 people all chanting during a live, and all the hands are waving in the same pattern in unison, or whether it's rocking out to a song that brings you to one of your favorite memories, or whether it's dancing with a loved one to your first dance song, or whatever it is. or whether it's bringing your kid, like we finally did, to a Pearl Jam show and sharing a love of a band and that has meant so much to you, that has kind of defined in a lot of ways key moments of your life, and being able to share that experience with your own children. It's indescribable on so many levels. So to have had the privilege of being on here and working with you, and first of all, we were friends before we ever did this, but to have deepened our friendship in our love of Pearl Jam, over our love of Pearl Jam, I should say, and had the chance to just talk about this and interview so many profound people with so many salient insights that have just, it's been enlightening, and it's been exhilarating, and it's allowed me to just feel like I'm a part of a community in a way that I didn't before. You know, I wasn't the guy that went to 100 shows. You know what I mean? I went to as many as I can afford, as many as I can get to. But this has allowed me to feel like I tapped into a pipeline, and to have the kinds of conversations about music and about just humanity that make me feel like this is why music exists. You know, as a matter of fact, funny enough, you know, and this is the last thing I'll say because I'm talking way too much on this. Our guests in the 300th episode talk a little bit about the history of music and what, you know, music originally was. And, you know, how it was essentially just, you know, when you think about on a tribal level, like what ritual, right? And so, you know, here it is now. If you want to go for full circle in a lot of ways, you know, Pearl Jam for me is ritual. And I imagine it is for you too.
You've said my answer 5 different ways in that lovely soliloquy. It really is discovering the community that's been there the whole time that I didn't even recognize was there. I mean, you know that there's fans out there,
yeah,
but you don't really necessarily have as many touch points to that. And we've talked about before,
not nearly as many.
Way back in the day when I would be on the skyscrapes or mosquito forums and my early STIP days and getting to know people through the message board forums, like that was a moment, you know, but I wasn't aware of like all these people that went to, you know, dozens of shows and then the layered conversations and friendships and relationships that happened and formed from those concert experiences, and then going to other shows with those people that aren't Pearl Jam shows and deepening, and you start creating these cliques that are part of a larger organism and to tap into that through this show is wild. And now I don't know what we are in the community, but we're something that is also stitching people together that may not have known people before. And I think that's fantastic. And that's the best part of all this for me.
Yeah. Yeah. Couldn't agree more.
Thank you.
Although most of the patrons would probably look at me and be like, where the hell you been, man?
Yeah. Putting out 5s at a school.
Pinging me from a Discord. It's like,
yeah. What's the next one?
Okay. Next question. First of all, Jeff, thank you for that. Next question. Love this one here as well. Whenever the boys get back together, what MFC songs do you expect will be retired from the set? And any MFC songs that transcend Matt and will continue to be played? Jason, please, for earmuffs for some of you, but for the rest of you, what does MFC stand for?
Matt fucking Cameron.
There you go. Okay, so which Matt Cameron songs do you think will be retired from the set, and are there any that you think transcend Matt and will continue to be played? The only ones that I can say honestly will be retired, or so I should say, I think will be retired, are, you know, songs like "You Are" and maybe some Riot Act stuff like "Get Right," songs like "Evacuation," "In the Moonlight." But
which they
everything
don't really
else,
play anyways.
which they don't really play anyways, you know. But I mean, like, where do you land on like a Dark Matter song, like "Take the Long Way" or so The Fixer or some of these other ones?
I look
ones
at
that he didn't write music and lyrics.
Yeah,
to.
you look at obviously in the context of the fact, and you mentioned it before, he was the drummer for 27 years. That's a long damn time and far more than any other drummer. But that being said, I look at it from the same way that they look at songs that were performed and written with the other drummers. I think it's all on the table. I think they're going to bring somebody in who can A, play the parts, B, get along with them in jives, and is capable of playing the parts. And if they feel like playing dark matter, all of a sudden it's fill in the blank playing that part. And hopefully that person, whoever it is, has a great rapport with Matt and maybe even says something like, I'm so honored to be sitting in Matt's throne and this blah, blah, XYZ and blah, 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 blah. But I don't see any songs being retired.
Oh, okay.
They haven't already been quasi-retired anyways.
I mean, you raise, I think, a fair point in the sense that Jack, Dave, Matt Chamberlain, they've already worked at Cruisin'. They've already worked with a variety of drummers in a variety of styles. And there's no song in the catalog that they've like outright retired on the basis of who was drumming for it. So in fairness, I see your point there.
All right. Next question. Let's try and move a little bit faster because there's so many questions here. I want to get to most of them if we can.
Yep.
From John on Patreon. Now that summer is almost upon us, well, it is here in Southern California. What shows are you guys planning on attending this year, and what are you most anticipated? Or what are your most anticipated? You got any booked already, or no? No,
sadly. I keep wanting to, but we're doing a little bit of reno of our backyard right now, and that's dipping into the well quite a bit, so that doesn't leave a lot left over for some shows. Now, I mean, there are some bands I'd love to see, bands that if they are on the road. I mean, what I do is like every month or two, once a month, I'll just kind of check out and see what's playing in and around the area, San Diego, LA area, and if it's something I really want to see and it works with the calendar, then I'll attempt it. But nothing is currently on the horizon. How about you?
Yeah. I'm kind of similar. There was some stuff here in March that I wanted to do, but it just didn't work out with work. Hiro Yamamoto's band Truly was playing down here in LA with a friend of the show, Cameron Lavie Jones's band King Youngblood. I really wanted to check it out. I couldn't do it. 9 Inch Nails played Anaheim recently. Couldn't do that either. Hasn't been too many other shows. Ghost played in February. I would have wanted to see that, but I had to work. So there's been a few shows.
You would agree, though, that if we had the bandwidth, we'd see a show a week.
I'd see multiple shows a week if I could.
I mean, there's so much great stuff out there. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, it's literally just a balancing act. And I think a lot of you out there as well are probably thinking, well, there's literally nothing on the Pearl Jam horizon, and so whatever time or money we might spend on that, and of course, I'm sure a lot of you out there have your little side bank account that's just for Pearl Jam, just in case you're constantly throwing a dime in there, like a 529 account, when you got to book flights and hotels to travel wherever the hell you're going to go. That being said, without anything on the table, not that would influence totally other shows that I would go to. I just haven't had the ability to go to as much as I would want to, especially as compared to the end of last year where I was going to a lot of stuff. But, who knows? Who knows? There's always going to be something that pops up. Maybe things, I don't know. As of right now, nothing's on my horizon, but I've got a lot of work stuff queued up over the next handful of weeks anyways. So hopefully things start lining up for me.
Yeah, I miss live music, so I would love to see something soon. Okay, next question. Right, thank you, John, for that one. If anything, John, that was the kick in the behind. Maybe we needed to go get ourselves some tickets to a show. Okay, so next question is from friend of the show, dear friend of the show, Stip, also a Patreon member. Also very grateful to you for that. Stip says, "Congrats on 300 episodes and 6 years of podcasting. Thank you, Stip. We couldn't have done it without you. Mm-hmm. If you had known then what you know now," oh, come on now.
Come on.
"If you had known then what you know now, what would you have done differently in those early years? What topics and episodes would you be most interested in revisiting? What would we have done differently?" I don't know if we would have recorded out of bathrooms and closets if we could revisit those. But we did what we had to do.
Some of those early episodes, Paul, where I was in that bathroom because there's nowhere else to go. And it was, if you go back to like episodes, like, I think it's like, like 78, 90, something like that. They're audio only, and they're, you can hear some echo on my side. And it's not great, but
So, yeah, I mean, I guess there's some sound engineering stuff that you would probably do differently. As far as the recording, though, I mean, I'm lucky just with your background in TV and, my background in writing and just, programming from an educational standpoint, just making sure that, everything flows. Like when you design a lesson plan, because when we started this, I was still teaching in the classroom. So when you think about it, like from the lens of like elements of instruction, how does this stuff need to be communicated? And then your lens from media, I thought it was a really good match. So I've never looked back.
Peanut butter and chocolate, Paul.
There you go. But I've never looked back and said, man, like those first year or two, we were just kind of meandering and rambling. Like there was always like a solid structure.
Yeah.
And there was never like a shortage of content. You know what I mean? So
we had to fill because we had nothing from Pearl Jam for like a good live wise. They put out Gigaton and it was like, all right.
What I can tell. So I mean, like, what would we have done differently? I can't think of anything that really stands out that I would say we should have done this differently, other than, maybe just being a little bit more mindful of, And I can't even say that because for a while we were audio only. You know what I mean?
Well, that's my answer is that if
we
I
would
had
have gone video earlier,
it would have been video from the get-go.
Wow.
That would have required some interesting. I mean, because if we were recording, it would have looked like hot garbage. We didn't have these beautiful rooms to record in, so that would have been tricky to look at. but in a perfect world, it would have been video from the get-go because I think we would have gotten on people's radars earlier. It was probably 3.5 years before we got to video. It was like, oh, that's a thing. Yeah, man.
Yeah. Well, here's what I can tell you that I would be most interested in revisiting. I really enjoyed the fan roundtables from around the world.
Oh, those are fun. Yeah.
I really enjoyed chatting with multiple fans from different countries. I thought that was just a great experience from a Pearl Jam lens. So that's something. And again, it goes back to community.
Yeah, exactly. I'm with you. All right, let's go to another video question.
Ooh.
And let's do, how about this gentleman right here?
Hey, it's James from James and the Cold Gun here. What up, Jason? What up, Paul? My question for you guys, what is your most unexpected / craziest moment in grunge history? Whether it's like an unexpected celebrity, kind of crossover moment, or just generally batshit grunge moment. Let me know.
All right, James Joseph from James and the Cold Gun.
First of all, if you are watching or listening to this, pause or even stop the recording. Go listen to James and the Cold Gun's music. I'm serious. They so crush. So James, an incredible talent and just a fantastic band across the board. Loved our interviews with them. So, okay. Answer the question. There's no like grunge moment of like Ozzy Osbourne at a pool in Hollywood, like dropping to his knees and like licking Motley Crue pee off of a pool floor. We don't have. Okay. No one's biting heads off of bats. By the way, 3 cheers for Ozzy Osbourne, huh? Man, what a life. Like most badass moment in grunge. I mean, I think a couple of them like really stand out to me. I think when I look back, I think that the music, the unplugged sessions to me, I know that those are like understated, but if you ask people like, what are the greatest unplugged shows of all time? Like it's the grunge bands from Seattle that are going to make the top 5. Like Nirvana Unplugged, Pearl Jam Unplugged. Those are the ones that are epic. You know what I mean? So that's the first thing that pops into my head is just like the ability to take that kind of music and strip it down and for it to be still just as meaningful and impactful as it was, to the point where there are versions of those songs that like you watch YouTube clips where, it's like vocalists, professional vocalists or, people, influencers, they'll react to songs for the first time. Right.
Yeah. And
when they do, like say Pearl Jam's Black, they never choose a live version from Lollapalooza or the recorded version. They always pick the MTV Unplugged version. Right. So I just think, Eddie Vedder writing on his wrist and, doing a handstand on a stool, or Cobain, playing with surrounded by can. I mean, I don't know, man. I mean, it's the Unplugged is the first thing that comes to mind.
You mentioned Lollapalooza. My answer is simple and short. The craziest thing I've ever seen in grunge is Eddie and Chris drinking gut juice. Do you know what that is? Do you know what I'm talking about?
Gut juice. I would have said Eddie dancing backstage with Kurt Cobain. That was pretty crazy.
So there's a documentary on HBO, I want to say, about Lollapalooza, and that 92 run with Soundgarden and Pearl Jam on it. There was a sideshow, literally like a freak show that Perry Farrell put on of sword down the mouth and the hairy woman and all that crap. And at some point, I forget how it happened, and someone's going to correct me, but someone regurgitated bile from their stomach and threw up into basically a pitcher of beer. And then they said, "Who wants to drink this?"
Oh,
and Eddie and Chris both drank from it.
Oh man, this has.
Am I breaking news here? It's disgusting.
Yeah, no, I never.
I'll say that, James.
There are some things that I'm grateful that I was just never aware of. You just popped the bubble. So.
Gut juice, baby. All right, next question.
How do you follow that up, dude?
You follow it with Justin, maybe?
Okay, let's do that. Well, we've got two more from Stip. I want to package together if you're okay with that.
Okay, please.
Okay, one. What is your favorite non-Pearl Jam related book about music, and who has never been nominated for the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that most deserves to be in, and why is it Weird Al Yankovic?
Okay, in order.
So, non-Pearl Jam book about music, and who should be in the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame that hasn't been nominated yet.
My favorite non-Pearl Jam book is Total Fucking Godhead about Chris Cornell. I think it's fantastic. And the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame band has got to be Iron Maiden. You don't have most metal without Maiden and Black Sabbath. You just don't.
I can get behind that. I can definitely get behind that. Here's what I would say. Favorite book is this bad boy right here.
Oh, that's a great book. I have that one too.
Yeah. Now, what I loved about this is Ace Hotel in Los Angeles. It was Chris Cornell sitting on a stage with Jimmy Page going over this book.
Were you there?
You were there. We were there together.
I wasn't there.
No. Actually, my buddy Scott was with me.
Me and Scott got confused. Great.
What's cool about this, though, is that behind the stage was a giant screen, and they were basically showing. What's cool about it's not a biography the way that you think it would. It's like a photo biography. It's nothing but pictures taken mostly about Jimmy, and many from Jimmy, and many about Jimmy. There's a great one in here taken from. It was a photo snapped by Linda McCartney of Jimmy with Paul. That's just fantastic. Highly recommend picking this book up. Just they say a picture's worth 1,000 words, or how about thousands of pictures? And what a great summation of a rock legend's life. So highly recommend it. It's just by far my favorite non-Pearl Jam music book. And then Rock and Roll Hall of Fame. Man, first of all, Maiden is at the top of my list. I was just listening to them the other day, but I've been listening to Motorhead a little bit more,
dude. We lost another Motorhead.
I know, and that's the thing. We're losing these guys, but I mean, love them or hate it. Smashing Pumpkins is an iconic band. So is Alice in Chains. I could see both of those bands being on the Hall of Fame. Unless if you want to go old school, why are the Pixies not in?
Yeah,
are the Pixies? Are they not in? I would have assumed that they were in, but apparently they're not. And I'll never forget, Fish. I mean that they were like the Dave Matthews Band of before Dave Matthews Band.
They won the fan vote last year and got completely ignored.
That's exactly. I mean, it's like there's a huge following behind that band. I don't know. I mean, I'm not a huge Fish fan, but I mean, there are people that live and die by these guys.
Yeah.
So, anyway, so those just some samplings of bands that probably should be in there.
Let's go with Justin on Patreon. Thank you, Justin. Says the 10 Club newsletter and the band have sometimes done a segment on what books we are reading or recommending. Have you read any they suggested over the years? And do you have any favorites? I have not. Sorry, I have not.
I'm full transparency. I have not either. And what's interesting though is every time, when I read these 10 Club newsletters, it's never like at home on a Sunday with a cup of coffee and I've got like 3 hours to spare. Oh, it's always like literally I'm at work.
It comes through.
Like 2 minutes, like I'm filling my matcha into a cup. I'm waiting for the cup to, and I'm scrolling on my phone and I'm like reading this, and I go back to work. And I always think to myself, that sounds interesting. I'd like to read that one day, and it never happens. So,
never happens.
And a handful of times I do get to read a book. I'm like, well, what? Picking up a Malcolm Gladwell book or something.
Yeah.
Or
this. Jimmy. All right, next one.
Okay, so this is from Noah on Discord again. She says, any chance for more details or a tease about the summer get-together, Jason?
Oh, okay. I will answer the question the same way I answered our participation in Ohana question, which is that things are still happening. Conversations are still happening behind the scenes. But what I've said to you guys before is the goal is to have everyone. Is pilgrimage? That's just a noun. That's not a verb, right? What's the verb of pilgrimage?
To go on a pilgrimage, you mean?
I guess. The idea is to coalesce around a weekend in late August in Seattle. It is going to be obviously the 35th anniversary of 10 and the 30th anniversary of No Code. So it felt apropos to make that a coming together of the community of sorts. And we're talking about a couple of tentpole things to do as a group. Still formalizing what those things are going to be. So you will know as soon as things are written in ink.
Mm-hmm.
But if you're thinking about booking a hotel, that's that you can cancel last minute, do that the last weekend of August, whatever the hell that is. What are those dates, anyways? I'll tell you right now. August 28th through 30th. 28th through 30th is the idea. It's a proposed weekend for this hangout to celebrate 35 years of 10 and 30 years of No Code. So that's all I can tell you right now. As soon as we know more, there'll be all of our social media details, the whole shebang. So, and there's more surprises coming, but we can't reveal them quite yet. Okay, let's do another video question.
Ooh, how many did you got?
I got some. I got a few. Let's go with this one.
Hey guys, congratulations on your 299 episodes. That's so amazing achievement. I'm very much impressed.
Thank you.
I do have one question for you. So tell me, what is the one Pearl Jam story that you started believing differently now that you did all of this episode than when you began your podcast?
Okay.
God,
what's a story that we've learned the difference of? Oh my God.
Shout out to 99. That's to 90.
Yeah. The original
90.
Mm-hmm.
God, what is a Pearl Jam story that I
got one, Paul,
that I believe differently now?
Yeah, I got one for you. Ready?
Give it to me.
We learned this just months ago, and that is when Brett Eliason told us what I Got ID is really about. That blew my mind. That ID was Heidi and about a person, and now everyone's like, "Wait, hold on, is it written from her perspective?" Holy shit! Like, that meme of John C. Reilly. What the hell is his character? Steve Brule.
Brain exploding.
Steve Brule, yeah. Is that moment. So that for me is the most obvious story that I was like, holy shit, no kidding, really? I'm sure there was others along the way, but that one sticks out to me.
That is definitely a good one. Gosh, man. I mean, there's a few that we probably can't share.
Oh, that's true too.
Yeah, you know.
Sorry.
I think that for sure that might take the cake because I always had a vision of what that song was about.
Yeah, me too.
And you know what's interesting is like you'll Google a song, you know, any song, In Hiding, right? And like, what is this song about? And there's a website that's like everyone's speculating about what the song is about. And then they have the Brett come on and just be like, no, let me tell you what the song's about. It's just
Fun fact.
Fun fact. Oh, that was fantastic. I'm sure there's more, but that's.
I feel like Brett also kind of dropped some knowledge on how certain bootlegs happened, or stories behind bootlegs, and you're like, oh shit, I didn't realize that. But that one's the first one that comes to mind. We've been, thank you for the question, Nina. We've had so many stories told to us over the last 6 years. It's hard to keep track of them, honestly. That one being the most recent that blew my mind. That's the one that popped into my head.
Yeah.
But thank you for that question. All right, where are we going next?
Okay.
Zoe
we
Khan?
are.
A couple from her.
Yeah, let's do that. Let's go with Zoe Ka. How important will it be for the new drummer to have vocal chops the way that Matt Cameron did? And I love this question, Zoe, because I referenced this earlier, actually, that I had some very specific thoughts on the drummer, which I'm excited to get into.
Go ahead.
So, no, I don't think it's important for the drummer to have vocal chops. I think it's important for the drummer to be a good fit stylistically with the band. And personally, they got to, you know, whoever it is has to jive with the band. But here's what I'll tell you. First of all, I think Josh kind of nullifies this.
Yes.
Right? So it's not as
Agreed.
important to have somebody who can sing. But also, I was thinking about this this morning. What if the drummer is a woman? And then I started thinking, well, who could that be? Who would be a good fit? And then it dawned on me. Because I was thinking about Eddie with Jack White. No. Well, I mean, I was thinking about Eddie with Jack White recently, and I thought, how about Megan White? How about Janet Weiss from Sleater Kinney? I mean, I think that there's something there, man. Like, first of all, the band always like prioritizes feel over flash, right?
Right.
When it comes to a drummer, I think that's really important. But you need live stamina, dude. Like, you got to play for 2 or 3 hours, and then the chemistry is super important too. Got to have that too. But
what about somebody like Annika Nils, who's subbing in for Rush this summer?
Ooh, that would. Be cool.
Obviously,
and, like, Rush is the quintessential live band.
I'm saying.
I mean, I can see that. I can see that. But you can't see Megan White. Like,
no, I think
she's very feel over flash. She's like super.
Yes, but I think A, she's too simplistic, and 2, I more importantly, I don't think she wants to be in the spotlight. I think she's happy being anonymous somewhere. And dude, she wasn't at the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame induction because
that's true.
That got to her. So,
what about Janet? Yeah. I mean, she's super respected as a drummer in the indie rock world.
Yeah, that's. I mean, definitely
very emotional. You watch her play, man. I mean, she is.
Yeah.
There's passion.
No, that's a good shout. That's a good shout.
I don't know. I mean, I first of all, if they came out and said, like, let's just say that they play a show, who knows where, and they unveil a new drummer, and Janet Weiss comes out, it's like, that would be amazing. First of all, it would be
something that they would do for sure.
I just think it would be cool. You know what I mean? I just think it would be cool. It's obviously less tied to that like Seattle inner circle, but whatever. I mean, whoever it's going to be is going to be the right person.
It's still Cascadia, Paul. Portland. No. For all the reasons you said. Matt's background vocals were definitely helpful, but they've got Josh, and they didn't have background vocals with either Dave or Jack, and they pulled things off just fine with Jeff and Stone filling in where they needed to. And
there you go.
I think it's a very low priority. Okay, let's do from Pete on Discord.
All right.
Did COVID come and you both had the space to create the show? So is there a chance that if lockdown didn't happen, no show? Or was already being planned and this just sped things up?
Easy answer. No lockdown, no show.
Correct.
And I'll tell you why. Because Jason had asked me multiple times previously, "Hey, would it be?" Because you had like a podcast about a cat. You had a podcast about like
about
baseball,
cats.
baseball
we named it after my
uniforms or
cat.
something. You had something like about baseball. I don't remember what it was. And you're like, would it be cool if we did like a Pearl Jam podcast one? I'll never forget you asked me this, and I remember thinking that would be awesome. But I have like zero bandwidth for this because I was writing on the side, and then I was also doing like some sports writing for fantasy sports. I was like running a school. I think I was teaching at the time, and it just being a husband and a father, and I just didn't have room in my life for it as much as I wanted to do it. I could not juggle all those balls. And it wasn't until COVID happened and I was like, well, I got time now. Mm-hmm. So if COVID doesn't happen, this doesn't exist. I can almost promise you. Or maybe it does, but not with me.
No, I don't think it does, because the idea wouldn't have occurred to me with anybody else. I wouldn't even thought that a Pearl Jam podcast would be a thing anybody would care about, to be honest with you. Which, that's literally the only silver lining out of COVID, is that this show gets off the ground, and therefore the community from the previous answer happens.
Hey, 6 years later, huh? Look at us. Who would have thought? Look at us.
All right, another video question. You ready?
You got another one?
I got more.
Oh, boy.
Hey, fellas, is there a song that's truly made you feel seen and heard, and by doing so has deepened your understanding of love and trust?
Chris Pierce, are you kidding me?
Chris, what a question. And you even rolled in the name of the pod with it. Brilliant.
Yeah.
I wish I was as smart and witty as Chris Pierce.
I know, right?
Okay, all right. So is there a song?
Yeah.
That I need you to answer this one. I gotta process this one, because that's a big question.
I mean, honestly, it's the songs that kind of get me like feeling goosebumps and feeling a little emotional. And there's a number of songs that have done that over the years. I will always come back to Breath by Pearl Jam, which is probably why it's probably my number one song for them. And that is because of what Stipp always talks about, the greatest moment in the catalog, which is the Breath Bridge. And, how's it go again? If I could take you there. Well, how's it go? I've forgotten the words in the heat of the moment. Someone's gonna yell at me. You know the words.
I'm not gonna help you.
If I knew where it was, I would take you there. There's much more than this. So those are the words. And that moment, that crescendo, that apex of emotion, that catharsis that leads into the bam, 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 and then into the outro solo. Yeah. And then Mike, that whole moment, even from a young age, was like, oh my God, Ed, the fellas, they know what I'm feeling. They know that I want to get out of this little bubble town that I'm in. They know that somehow they know that I'm like not a fan of most of the people that are in my school, that they don't get me. And I need to break out of this thing, this bubble. Some people love their bubbles. They love their hometown. They love being in that. It's comfortable and they enjoy it and they want to sit there forever. I get that. But that was not me. And that's one reason why I went to college 1,200 miles away in South Florida. And that's one reason why I moved across the country to Los Angeles. And I love new experiences. I love meeting new people. I love challenging myself. And I was not getting challenged there the right way. And that song, which I don't think I actually found until I was like 15 or 16. So we're talking like 95, 6 is when I realized that there was a soundtrack to singles. I go, oh my God. So there are many songs, Chris, but it'll always come back to that one.
Yeah, I got a couple, man. The first song that ever hit me that way was Michael Jackson's Human Nature.
Oh, what a song.
It's probably my favorite Michael Jackson song. I listened to that song on repeat, just the guitar work. God, man, there's like the delicacy of it, the clarity of it.
Sorry.
And he didn't write it, and that was like the magic of it. I think it was from the guy from Toto, right? I got to go back and check.
Fuck, what's his name? Lukather, Steve Lukather.
Yeah, I think that was who wrote it. It was such a beautiful song, and I remember being really young, thinking to myself, "What is human nature? What does that even mean?" And for a song to get me thinking about that, first of all, like sonically, it's just brilliant. But it's just an epic song, man. I love that song.
Sorry, I was wrong. Sorry, it was Steve Porcaro, the keyboardist.
Thank
for
you.
Toto.
That's
sorry, my mistake. Carry on.
Pearl Jam, Black. You know, and anyone listening or watching who's been here with us knows that is the song for me. I think it's if Desert Island, you get one song for the rest of your life. That's it. That's the one for me. Kitchenware and Candy Bars, Stone Temple Pilots. Why that one?
Oh, yeah.
He did an interview one time that I remember listening to, or maybe I read it in an article, I forget. And woman he was with had an abortion, didn't tell him. And that was the song that he wrote. And it's like, to go through that experience of like it's like another life in a parallel universe that was lived and then suddenly snatched away. And it's like there's this shadow of a life that you're trying to connect with, and you write the song to somehow sustain it.
Yeah.
And I just love the bass riff in it. It's a haunting, beautiful song. Love talking to Kevin about the song "You" off their debut album, Candlebox's debut album, written for Andy Wood. Actually, that's not true. Far Behind's for Andy Wood. "You" was really written for himself. Kevin talked a little bit about a time where he stole money from his folks for reasons that he probably regrets. And that song was about mistakes of youth. And anyone
that was our first conversation with him, right?
That wasn't. I mean, he alluded to that. He touched on it a little bit, but he actually talked about it on a live performance. I think he was. I forget where he was performing. It was like an acoustic set somewhere. It's on YouTube actually. So that one stands out. And like more recently, this is gonna like blow your mind. Like Frank Sinatra, "Girl from Ipanema."
What?
There's this. It's an iconic song. Like the guy's like hanging out and he sees this woman running on a beach, and he like writes this song, and it becomes an instant classic. And it's just the magnitude of like you can. And there's so many moments in think back in my life, and there are many moments where I've had these. They're moments. They're not like full-fledged relationships with people. I mean, they're just isolated moments, and I still remember them.
But they stick with you.
Stir. And I don't know. I mean, to me, that song is like the epitome of that. It's just such a soulful, heartfelt classic. I mean, I could rattle off a bunch of.
That's a great answer, though, because we all have those moments of, especially when it comes to like whoever we're attracted to, or it's just like they just catch your eye, and it's just a moment, and it gets seared in your brain, and then all of a sudden you remember what you were eating. And you remember like the color of the car that happened to pass by when you happened to glance, and it's like, this is 13 years ago. What is going on here? Just these moments.
I love my family. I love my wife. I still remember a 9-second conversation I had with a woman in Paris 20 years ago. Why?
Who hasn't been there, Paul? Who hasn't been there?
I don't know what to tell you.
What's next? We got a few more from the listeners, and then I got 2 more videos to get to.
Okay, so
what do you got?
This is a good one. So why did Eddie change "Mommy and Daddy" to "Mother and Father" in all songs? And when you're singing in the car, what do you sing? I don't have an answer for why Eddie changed the lyrics. Do you? I have an answer to the second part. But.
I have no idea. I wonder if he feels that when he wrote those lyrics originally, they were coming from a more immature place, and maybe he thought, well, I'm more mature, and it demands more maturity and more respect for the figures. I don't know. That's just that's me doing that. I don't know. I'm not him. You got to ask him. The answer to the second part of the question is, I think I vacillate between both.
The great word, because that's going to be in my answer too.
Oh, great. If it's a studio cut, I know the studio lyrics by heart. I'm going to sing those. But if it's a live cut, depending on when it's from, and to your point, when he might have been changing the words, I might I might wait like a half a beat to see what he sings to sing along with it. But I mean, my instant reaction is to go to the studio cuts because that's what I know the most.
I mean, when I'm singing in the car, what do I sing? You name it. I'll sing, Mitchell Tenpenny's Drunk Me and Morgan Wallen's Last Night. I'll sing Michael Jackson's Human Nature. I'll sing Girl from Ipanema. I'll sing Pearl Jam. I'll sing, Stone Temple. There's not a band out there that I love that there's not a song that they've written that when I put it on, I'm not trying to sing it in some way. A lot of singer-songwriter stuff I'll sing too. Now, there are some things that I won't sing because I just, I don't, I can't, there's a lot of hip hop that I like. I can't keep up with it. I'm old. So, I just can't keep up with it.
Mom's spaghetti.
Yeah, exactly. My brain is mush. And clearly those artists are more talented and have better memory than I do.
By the way, I think I misread the question. I thought it was, do you sing the mother, father, daddy, daughter, daddy, mother, mommy part?
Well, I read it as what she wrote was, when you're singing in the car, what do you sing? And so
yes, everything.
There's everything, man.
Everything.
I vacillate. I vacillate.
I'll do another written one here from Bob. Hey, Bob. By the way, if you're in Vegas, Henderson to be specific, this Steamy Weenie. Bob owns the Steamy Weenie. It's an amazing hot dog. I've been there personally. It's great. The wife too, and my son, my oldest son. We all went to the Steamy Weenie, had a hot dog. It was great. Is there any word on the street about another Painted Shield record or any other Stone side project? I will tell you this, Paul. There's a listener out there who he loves James and the Cold Gun as much as we do, and he also loves Pearl Jam, obviously. And he told me just yesterday that when he was speaking with James after a show recently in the East Coast, James Joseph, who we heard from earlier.
Who doesn't love speaking with James?
Yeah, exactly.
Lucky you.
Exactly. He mentioned something that happened, and so that this listener, he went and spoke to the people over at Loose Groove Records, just asking a question, and it sounds like there might be a Stone solo thing coming at some point soon. Okay. That's the word on the street. That's possibly. I don't know. So Painted Shield, I don't know.
I'm super stoked about that. If true,
Bailey's 2, I don't know.
Epic, love it. Yeah,
that's all I know.
We have no definitive word, but that's the word on the street, I guess.
That's the word on the street. What do you got, Paul?
That's the word on the street. Okay, that was from Bob. This is from Noah again on Discord. She says,
"My God, Noah."
Noah, thank you for being so active. Do you think Mike might debut Farewell to Seasons at Ohana?
Well, he has played a few tracks when he was, I think when he played with Thunder Pussy in December, or there's another benefit that he did recently where he played a few of the tracks. Would he play the entire thing? I don't think he'll ever play the entire thing in public. I don't think he has. I don't think he will have the time or figure out a way to do it that would be financially viable. I mean, if he said, I'm going to play this whole thing front to back, people would come, but I feel like he's too humble to be like, I deserve to do that for myself. Also, by the way, he sings on this thing.
I know.
He said he took vocal lessons for 2 or 3 years so that he could feel comfortable and confident to do this for his
farewell seasons. Good for you.
So, here's what I'll say. If Mike's at Ohana, it's because Pearl Jam's playing Ohana. That's my opinion.
Yeah, I'm with you on that.
All right, I got another
Do you have more?
I've got 2 more. Let's do this, gentlemen.
Jason and Paul, Michael Hunt here from EBRP. First of all, gentlemen, congrats on your 299th episode. I've got a question for you. After all the episodes of the State and Love and Trust podcast, what's a piece of life wisdom that you've learned that you didn't know before?
First of all, no. Congrats to you, sir, on the epic progress that you've made and the amazing breakthroughs that you have helped facilitate. So hats off to you. Heartfelt thank you for the work that you do. And, very, very grateful for the advancement that you've helped facilitate.
3 FDA approved treatments, $80 million raised, turns $1 into 6. We go again.
Yeah, I am in awe of his work, to the point where I've now forgot his question.
Oh, what bit of life wisdom have we learned over these 6 years of doing the show?
Oh man. Bit of life wisdom that we've learned. Yeah. It's twofold for me. One is balance, right? One is balance, but the other is commitment. And I say that, and you know, you and the folks watching and listening don't know this, but we've had conversations just about like contributions and you know, effort and like level of involvement. And for any of you watching or listening, like understand something that, you know, when you see these shows, Jason edits all these by himself, right? We don't have a team that edits these.
By the way, if you want to help,
yes. So it's we've had conversations about it, and it has as the show has grown, I have understood that it was necessary for my contributions to grow as well, you know, and that way I thought that was an important inflection point for me in terms of growth. And many thanks to you, by the way, for all that you've done for the show and the many hats that you've worn. In addition to that, though, you know, aside from growth, like in terms of wisdom, just the ability to like have this, and I said commitment was the other word that comes to mind. There was a period of time where we were adamant, like we cannot miss a week. Like we've got like consistency is key. Like you let 3-4 weeks go by, forget it. Like you're going to fade away. And I thought that commitment was important, and it helped us. If you're a Patreon member, if you're watching this, if you're listening to this, I believe it's due in no tiny part to the fact that we're consistently there for you. We're consistently giving you something to think about, to listen to. And I'm not talking about our own insights. I'm talking about the amazing people that we've had a privilege and honor of having on our show and talking to. And the hopefully what you feel is are insightful discussions when we're left to our own devices. I mean, ultimately, you know, it's that commitment to just not producing content, but making time for discussion, making time to come here and have real conversation, whether it was with each other, whether it was with a guest. That's important. And I can honestly tell you, like, there's a bucket that's been filled there creatively and on a human level for me, because I've made the time to do this. I didn't put this on the back burner and say, I'll get to it when we get to it. If, you know, I can't record this week, you know, it's always been something that was important to me, not just to feed an engine or an algorithm, but rather to feed myself and to my own humanity. You know what I mean? And so I think that if you told me that this was going to disappear after this conversation, there would be a void that I would have to fill some other way.
That's kind of my answer, is that I've become wise to the fact that I need connection. And my wife will tell you this, I am very happy to be left to my own devices. Leave me the F alone. I will be happy as a clam. I can do whatever I want. Like, I can get online if I wanted to, watch some shows, play my guitar, like do things on my own time. I may or may not have a control problem, guys. Paul will tell you that. We're working on it. But I'd be okay with that, right? Or I thought. What these 6 years have proved to me is that the value of the connections made, not just deepening me and this guy over here, but this, you know, me and you out there, is I didn't realize how necessary it was. And I think that the acknowledgement of that is something that a lot of folks in this world may not realize that they need. And they will make choices that cut that off at the knees or put walls up, when it's like, I think you actually do want that. You're just not making a choice that will enable it to happen. And I'm not going to go further down that path because we'll be in a different podcast. But
that's fair. That's fair.
I'm noticing over the last 6 years that I relish in these conversations. And yeah, if the pod just stopped now, I'd be like, well, what do I do? Now I could go back to playing these guitars way more than I do now, which is not enough. I could.
There's a lot of dust on that one.
Yeah.
Well, actually, I moved it over here.
I will tell you, I love playing video games. I love playing FIFA. I love playing role player games. My kids are starting to get into video games, so I love to be able to play more. I like to go see movies, more concerts. Hanging out with my wife could be a good idea, right? There are more things that I would love to be that I could be doing, but goddamn, this is a drug.
Hey man,
having these connections over music.
We had a conversation with Kevin Martin where he pointed to a guitar and said, I haven't picked that thing up in I don't even know how long. It's covered in dust. The last time I checked on Kevin Martin's social media, he is making music, right? And blessings, right? So it's one of those things where sometimes you need to step away to truly understand and connect,
What did he call this current tour? Do you recall what it's called?
It's not The Last Goodbye, which I think was the name of the album.
It's called Can't Quit You Tour.
There you go. Love it.
I can't quit you guys. At least not until the payday comes. Anyway, no, just kidding. That was from, who was that from? Oh, that was from Michael. Thank you, Michael.
Yeah, it was. Thank you, Mike.
We got a couple more here, and then we got one more video, and then we'll be out of your hair. What do you got?
Right. This is what Chris asks. He says, when the time comes, hopefully not for a while, do you want to know in advance that the last Pearl Jam album is the last? And do you want it to be a consciously crafted definitive final statement, or simply a great album that does not call any attention to its place in the discography?
If I had to guess, what they would do is they wouldn't tell a damn soul. And the evidence of that is Matt Cameron's departure, because I bet you they knew for months. Yeah, and they love a good secret. They love controlling a narrative. They love doing things on their own terms. They don't tell anybody anything. So I don't think they would. Now, as a fan, I like it when an athlete says, this is my last season. Because then you can say, you know what? I am going to make my way to a few of those games. I'm going to relish it, because it's almost like if, this is so fucking morbid, but like if someone that you love or care about a lot, car crash and they're gone, right?
Yeah.
I didn't know. I couldn't resolve it. It's not. But if someone is just old, or maybe they have some sort of terminal disease, while that's obviously brutal and heartbreaking, you've got some runway to find a resolution. And we are humans. We love resolution, as evidenced by Hollywood movies. They're all tied up in neat little bows. Otherwise, we get hissy fits if we don't have tight little bows on things. So I would prefer, not that they would, hey, this is the last one. It's out in a month. Oh my God.
Could not disagree with you more.
Oh my God. Yes. Tell me why. I love it.
If they said that,
yeah,
the hysteria would be through the roof. Number one.
Number
two, can you imagine the farewell, the disaster that the ticketing process would be?
As compared to what?
I would rather, I imagine myself, I put myself in worst case scenario. It's an album, it gets dropped, tour happens, for whatever reason, financial reasons, personal reasons, I don't get to see them that tour. Then they hang them up.
Yeah.
And I say to myself, that was the last chance I ever had. I'm at peace with that. And I'll tell you why. Because that happened at a time in my life where that music spoke to me. And I clearly prioritized my family and my needs over going to see that show. And you know what? That's exactly what they would have done. And
stop being the goddamn grown-up, Paul. I don't like this answer.
I'm just saying, at the end of the day, I can see myself being at peace with it, understanding that. And the cool thing is, not knowing, like if you knew today was the last day you were going to be alive, you wouldn't live your, the anxiety would be through the roof. right? There'd be a heightened sense of awareness to the point where you wouldn't live it authentically anymore.
But hold on. But if you knew there was a deadline, you'd go out and do a bunch of stuff. If you did not know that tomorrow wasn't going to happen, you might just sit on the couch all day and be like, "Oh, I got a nice little Saturday."
And I'm okay with that because because we've sat on a couch for 4 years waiting for a Pearl Jam album.
7.
Fair enough. 7. So
Lightning bolt.
there you go. So I feel like this is their decision to make. And I think that for them to go do it and for just to play out the way every other great year in Pearl Jam history has, and then to say, that was nice. Let's just call it at this point. And just leave leave it all out on the field. There's something about the magnitude and the pomp and the circumstance of making an announcement about it that I think would dilute it, that I think would create a level of unnecessary hysteria and controversy and conflict, quite frankly. I mean, can you imagine, just picture a fist fight over getting in to see a Pearl Jam show? Because it's the last one in Detroit or Wichita or St. Louis or San Diego or who knows where. Seattle.
Do you think people would actually believe them though? How many farewell tours did Kiss do? How many farewell tours did Motley Crue do? How many
this is where I love this band. If they say it, I'm going to believe them.
Yeah.
know. So but ending that way, can you imagine reading an article on whatever news outlet you subscribe to that details some sort of physical altercation over trying to get in, and the rationale is, well, it's the last time they're ever going to play here. That is not a justification for treating your fellow human that way. And the band would say the same things. I think if anything, that they would downplay it to prevent that level of hysteria.
Oh no, because I'm in agreement with you. I don't think,
and I'm okay with that. I agree with it.
So your reasoning, I totally buy into. That makes all the sense in the world, and the rational part of me agrees that that's what they should do, and I think that they would do that way. The selfish, I just need one more taste part of me is hard to ignore. That's what I'm saying.
But it's like a Barry Sanders thing, right? Where it's
you
knew you were watching Hall of Fame play, and then he just said, "No, that's it. I'm done." It's like, what? But don't you want to make the Hall of Fame one day? He made it anyway.
To be fair, I never saw Barry Sanders play in person, so I never got that taste.
Oh, well, that's fair.
But anyways, we got one more video question here. You ready for it?
Give it to me. I'm excited.
Jason, Paul, 299 episodes. Wow. Quite a feat, my friends. The state of Love and Trust is strong. I am going to steal one from your playbook and make this a two-parter. The first part being, what is something that has taken you by surprise? Something that when you set out on this journey to create the State of Love and Trust, that you just did not anticipate or expect was going to happen. And the second part being, I know that we've talked quite extensively about the impact that music has on our lives. And its ability to, an artist or a record or a song to change, in some cases even save someone's life. So what is a profound musical moment for you, a definitive moment that had such a massive impact on you, and maybe even changed your life?
Thank you, Eric.
Spoken from a poet who runs a music studio. Gosh.
Eric Lillevoix, London Bridge Studio. All right, Paul.
First of all, I love that we're in our own little studio, and the last video question is from the king of studio. Eric, what a question! What a series of questions. Two-parter. Part one: What did I not expect? I on two different levels. Number one, I didn't expect anyone would really listen. and eventually would watch. I mean, I knew somebody would, but I didn't think it would be to the level that it has reached. I didn't think that we would find community through this. And I always thought there'd be this wall, this gossamer curtain that separates us from the people who are listening. And the fact that it's actually turned into community is profound to me. So I didn't expect that, to the level, by the way, that we have a Patreon. And I say that because we've read questions from folks, and we've mentioned the fact that they're on Patreon. And if you're listening and watching, I want you to understand, when you pay hard-earned money in today's economic climate to a podcast, I can't tell you how much that resonates with us, but I'll just speak for myself. I don't hold myself in that regard, in a high enough regard to say that anything that I have to contribute is worth that. But the fact that you feel it is, I take that very seriously. I find that is a responsibility, and I feel a responsibility to provide you with insights and content and discussion and quality that justifies why you should do that. Not because I want the dollar, but because you deserve your dollar. And if it's coming this way, it should be for good reason. So if you would have told me in, the spring of 2020 that somebody would ever actually join a community and pay to be a part of it, and it started with us, I would have said, you're out of your mind. You're out of your mind. And the fact that it happened, I can't tell you how incredibly humbled I am to have played a role in this, in a way that anything I've ever said or contributed, or any discussion Jason and I have ever had, has landed with you in such a way where you said, I want more of this, to the point where I'm willing to contribute monetarily to get it. And to that end, I say thank you. And to that end, I say we will continue to bust our behinds to justify that, and that just thank you for helping us build community. The second part, man, I gotta meditate on that, so I'm gonna pass it off to you.
Okay. Well, but you might have to meditate very long, because I'm gonna echo what you just said, in that I wasn't really sure what would come of this. It was just, people always say, well, was it a passion project? Were you trying to it was literally, we've said it before, but this relationship, where are you? Over here. This started at the back of Jones. It's a bar on Santa Monica Boulevard in West Hollywood. Hey, who are you? Oh, I'm a friend of so-and-so. My name's Paul. Oh, cool. You like Pearl Jam? Sure do. Sweet. Smash cut to what year is this? Now, 18 years later? No. 12 years later? What? No, 18 years later. 18 years later. I think it was 2008. And to say that things that we would say into a microphone might make people think or feel a certain way, that's kind of mind-boggling, because I feel like we're just people that have, you guys have the same opinions, but honestly, probably a lot of them are a lot better than mine. I just happen to own this microphone and that light, and I subscribe to Acast so I can host the podcast. Yeah, it's and because of that, like you said, the community that's come around and to you throw a few bucks a month at a Patreon to essentially talk with other people like you, who like the content and like the band and like the music and like the geopolitical conversations and the never-ending thirst trap. Yeah, that's right. I'm talking about that channel in the Discord. What of it? And the bonus stuff that we put together for the Patreon,
with Brad and
Brad Clausen. I mean, I don't know, like 40 episodes going over posters with Brad and Stip. We're just starting a new venture with Stip and diving deep into his discussions of the Pearl Jam catalog in this book. And it blows my mind that anybody would give a damn 6 years later. And to that point, because you guys have given a damn and enough of you have given a damn, we have gotten opportunities that I never thought would be possible. Yeah. Talking to the people that we've talked to, getting to go to HQ, getting to just meet up with people that you wouldn't get a chance to meet up with and have conversations with that play some of the music at a bar, going and being on stage at Ohana, and who knows what else, right? And it's something that, like, holy crap, did a lot of friggin' work to make this thing happen. But man, like I said, it's a drug, and I like it, and it's because you guys have made it feel like a home. Answer number 2, Paul, do you have it, or should I go again?
Go again. You're on a roll.
Am I on a roll, though, or am I just mumbling? So the second question was, what's a musical moment that kind of stuck with me? Is that what he said? It's been like 5 minutes. Yeah.
It's like something that a musical moment that is just an arresting moment that just landed.
I mean, I have many Pearl Jam related ones, but I'll say one that's not, and that is, for better or for worse. I did go and was a visitor and a concert goer of Woodstock '99. I was 17 years old. I went with some friends, and one of those friends' parents actually drove us and then left us alone for 3 days, which is great. Thanks, guys. And by the way, if you guys are watching, that's amazing. Anywho, obviously that weekend ended in a rather unfortunate way, but that was the first time I ever saw Metallica play. And in my high school years, before I refound my love for Pearl, or I guess I refound Pearl Jam around Yield time, but the early part of high school was Metallica, and I was like obsessed, and that was my world. And so it was really cool when the second half of high school was happening, and I had both of these bands just like taking all of my attention. And I got to go to Woodstock '99 and see the band for the first time, Metallica, and absolutely blown away by what they brought to that 250,000 people. And I remember exactly where I was, and you can probably see it in photos and videos if you go on YouTube, but there was a giant techno crane, or like these big, if you know what a jib is, it's basically a giant armed, steel arm that has a camera at the end of it, and they swing it through the audience, these big sweeping shots, right? But they have to keep people away from it, because there's this guy that operates it, that has a giant weight at the end. These guy, he moves it like this, and it's weighted so it's counterbalanced, and he needs space to be able to walk around, right? Because it's a giant fulcrum, and so it's fenced out in a big square, like that fencing. And I, at some point in the day, just found myself at the back end of it, so I'm up against basically a rail behind this crane, but I have a perfectly clear view to the stage, and I'm only like maybe 100 yards away. I'm actually relatively close in this massive ocean of people. And I got to watch this band absolutely blow me away. And by the way, Limp Bizkit and Rage Against the Machine basically burned the place down before that. And then I get Metallica. And I'm like, music is everything. Music is everything. And just a year before, in Hartford was my first Pearl Jam show. So you can see, formative years Jason going like, okay, first show by himself was Offspring at the Roseland Ballroom, shout out. And then Pearl Jam, first Pearl Jam show. Not even a year later, Metallica at, what's that? My mind was being blown every few months in the live music experience, and it kind of culminated with that particular show. And I was like, this is it. There is no reason that I am not going to see live music, because this is an energy I will never forget.
Yeah.
That was a very long answer. I'm sorry, but like that's where I was.
It's great. No. And I'm glad I kept it on you to hear that. Just to echo your sentiments, same idea that when you see a live show, it's transformative. It's a transformative experience. On a Pearl Jam level, just that moment I described of them playing alive, at multiple venues that I've seen them play at, and turning around, anytime I was blessed with the opportunity to be on the floor, turning around and just seeing 10,000 plus people behind me, going, hey, during a live, and you just see those hands in unison all at the same time. And that's community. And it's coming around and coming together around a song, I should say, that is so full of despair and heartbreak. And, for the band and the community of the band to turn it around into a song of celebration and to coalesce around that and find solace in one another. It's just so special and profound. I would also say, I'll never forget, because most of the time we see Pearl Jam, it's in an indoor venue. And to hear Black played outdoors. And there was one occasion where I was fortunate enough outside. It was at Ohana where they played it. And I looked up, and when he sings, Eddie sings, I know someday you'll have a beautiful life. I know you'll be a star in somebody else's sky, but why can't it be mine? And I was able to look up during that and see stars in the sky. And to make that connection was just like, oh man, how cinematic is that? Because it's what I think of it's what I've always thought of when I heard those lyrics, and to be put in a situation where I could visualize it for nature to afford me that opportunity was quite profound. And on a much lower level, borderline superficial level, I'll never forget going to a Fuel show at the Fillmore. I think it was the Fillmore, or maybe it was the Warfield, I forget, in San Francisco. And there was a band called Nickelback opening for them that nobody had ever heard of. And I had never heard of them either. And there was this one random dude at the back of the room that was just like, oh, I'm not here for Fuel, man. I'm here for Nickelback. These guys crush. These guys rock. I'm like, who the hell's Nickelback? And I saw them play, and I thought, wow, they clearly know what they're doing. It's those moments where you hear a band that you've never heard of before, and then within 6 months, they're just the number one band. Yeah. It's just oh shit. Those kinds of moments I think are pretty cool. And I don't have a lot of them, but that's one that comes to mind where I literally had no idea who it was I was looking at. And I listened to the set, and then literally less than a year later, they're
the biggest band in the world,
one of the bigger bands in the world, and sometimes that's fun. It's cute and it's fun, and you look back at those experiences and just your naivety, and you just kind of have fun with yourself. So,
by the way, to experience Black outdoors, to look up to the sky, see the stars, and know that the lyrics to that song were written about 40 minutes away by car.
Yeah, I know, man. I'm living here, so it's pretty cool. I drive literally on the highway past Rancho Penasquitos and the high school Eddie went to. So it's pretty wild. It's pretty wild.
Well, I want to say thank you to everybody who sent in questions. And thank you to our guest video question people.
All of you. Yeah, that was really, very, very cool. Touching and much appreciated. So thank you.
This might go down as the longest episode in the podcast history. We did. I think it was it was favorite lyric of the album. I think it was episodes 100 and 101 with Stip. And we had to split it into 2 episodes because we went on 3 hours.
Those of you watching and listening, here's what you don't know is literally 24 hours ago, Jason sent me the questions, and he had one question. He said, do you think this is enough to fill out one episode, or do we need to add an extra segment?
Because, I always underestimate how much we can talk, which is asinine to think of.
We are entirely indebted to those of you who asked these wonderful questions. So thank you.
I did promise you what's coming next week for number 300. And there's 2 guests that Paul mentioned earlier. Mm-hmm. One is someone who's been here before, and that is Mark Mengi from King Ultra Mega and Metal Allegiance, who we love and adore. And
the other, Jason, may or may not be a band that we both felt was Hall of Fame worthy.
How about William Duvall, lead vocals for Alice in Chains, making an appearance on the show? So William and Mark. It's not the conversation that you think it's going to be, by the way. It's more interesting. And I'm excited for you to check it out. That'll be next week. And that's it. We've mentioned Patreon a bunch of times. I'm wearing a shirt. You've got this thing if you ever wanted to buy anything from the pod shop. By the way, to answer the question from before, anybody who's bought, I can't believe you would buy podcast related stuff. And I'm so fucking stoked that you will, because there are artists and I've designed a couple of things, and Paul and I designed a couple of the early stuff. But we've had artists like Karen and Andrew Taylor design some of the other stuff, and the fact that you like,
incredible art, cool. By the way, and just incredible. See,
like that's rad. I want this pine tree with a little red mosquito on it and 3 little swirling hearts down the bottom. Obviously there's a few no codey things happening in this shirt. The fact that you guys would like that and wear it, and like people are asking you about the shirt when we go out or when you go out, that's crazy to me. But I love it.
Not my design, you know what I'm saying?
Thanks, Karen. I got a pin. This is the old design, by the way. This is the old design. So thank you. And you know what? We're 299 in, 300 next week, and we keep on going. And we appreciate you. So
let's churn butter for 100 more. How about that?
Oh, God, I just hit the microphone. That's okay. If you're here on YouTube, you know what to do. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, hit the bell for notifications, and if listening only, somehow at 1 hour and 40 minutes, Paul.
Rate, review, and subscribe on your preferred podcast platform of choice. Churn that algorithmic butter. How about that?
Is it European style? Is it full fat?
Yes.
Okay. We'll see you next week. And until we do, you've been listening to or watching
The State of Love and Trust.